Welcome to the Tesla Economist. Please hit the thumbs up and remember to subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter and talk to me on Patreon. I don't think 2022 will be an overly exciting year for Tesla's stock price. The market has moved on from any hyperbole Tesla can muster. Tesla's valuation is based on results now. Even the P/E ratio is more in lines. Tesla building up production numbers will be good, but what the market understands more than anything are the profits. We are now at the stage with Tesla where the exponentials are really going to start to kick in, with 4680 batteries, Berlin and Texas. This will get production going to where it should be, which in turn will result in great profits and a higher stock price. And I think that's what 2022 is going to be about, building up this stage, getting volume production in the new factories, getting a really high run rate of 4680 batteries with great yields, along with further expansions in Shanghai. Tesla really have their hands full already. How these projects go this year will be what determines the trajectory of the company. How fast can Tesla ramp up 4680 batteries? How fast will these new production techniques make the lines? What sort of issues will we run into over this time? This year isn't the year we expect actual profits to go through the roof. We've even been warned already to expect lower profits from the CFO that could even result in a lower EPS for all we know. Although Q1 2022 looks like it might be alright, I'm not even sure if Tesla are going to deliver any cars this quarter from the new factories. Therefore, Q1 could actually end up being really good, given it's just the initial two factories. It will also give us better indication on how things are moving in Fremont if it's not mixed in with the other factories. Tesla have already been doing what they can to perfect these production lines in the new factories for months already. Tesla are not wasting any time. And remember, the whole thing is that we eventually will be battery constrained. And so far, I haven't seen any of these delays potentially cause battery delays. The question is, can Tesla ramp up to volume production by the end of the year, despite these late starts? And that's what 2022 is about, making sure that Tesla enter the next level right, the level where they start producing millions of vehicles a year, and also become the second largest battery manufacturer. This is what our eyes should be on this year. It's possible not everything will go to plan. There may be issues, there may be FUD, there may be a recession. This could all be a lot for the stock price to get through. On the other hand, every economist's favourite saying, maybe we'll enter the roaring 20s again. In case you didn't realise, it looks fairly decided on the global scene that we're done with fossil fuels, and the world is reinventing the old industries of energy and transportation and having to rebuild them again. Unfortunately, with the same old infrastructure using roads and power grids, this is tens of trillions of dollars that has to be spent. So therefore, don't be too sure what happens in the future. Of course, right now, Tesla is at the core of said spend. Okay, so 2022 is a year for preparation, but 2023 is a year to reap. We should be behind all the supply chain issues, and there should especially be an abundance of microchips available for as many cars as even Tesla need to make, which is a lot. Wow, it almost looks like smooth sailing. Potentially. Of course, who knows? There generally always is something. But these few years have been particularly tough on a global macro level. This was a serious headwind. But wow, look at how well Tesla did through it all. All the other auto manufacturers seem to have screwed up pretty bad, supposedly with chip shortages. Personally, I'm a believer of the chip shortage. I know some of you think it's demand for ICE dwindling, but I think it's mainly chip shortages. That doesn't mean that demand isn't obviously lower for ICE cars, and chip shortages act as a scapegoat for them now, but next year, Legacy may have to face the music, or find some more excuses. In 2023, we really get to see just what separates Tesla from everyone else, when Tesla can really spin their wheels in manufacturing, where they can make cars so fast there are not enough batteries in the world to keep up. If we include just EVs with battery packs above 40 kilowatt hours, then Tesla might not be far off a global 50% of EV sales. Yes, those small little Chinese EVs really do skew our numbers. My last estimate was that Tesla would have approximately 350 gigawatt hours of battery supply for 2023, coming in at enough batteries for around 5 million vehicles. And wow, how 2023 will run. We should see a new fab in Texas and Berlin, along with a new location likely begun construction too. 4680 should be ramping up at an incredible rate. Looking at the yields we've been seeing lately, I believe this is a really good sign. Yes, 4680s took a lot longer than expected, but I guess it just makes it that much harder for any competition and helps you appreciate just what a fantastic engineering marvel Tesla have done. We might also see Tesla's in-house LFP start production sometime in 2023 too. I would hope that Tesla are reaching a run rate of in-house batteries something close to 250 gigawatt hours by the end of 2023. I would say there's a high possibility that CATL would also be adding to this additional battery supply. In other words, 2024 could be more like 500 gigawatt hours. Remember, Elon said that they will be battery constrained still, so imagine how much their vehicle manufacturing would have come on by that stage. LG and Panasonic may have moved to 4680 form by this stage too. However, uncertain as to whether they'll be using the dry battery electrode process, as this is not easy. I guess it depends as to what level Tesla plan on helping them. If LG or Panasonic aren't capable of the dry battery electrode process, then I think their supply will start to shrink relative to what CATL are offering and what Tesla have ramped to. We would hope to have seen some major FSD breakthroughs in 2023, potentially seeing 10 times safer than a human. It may then reach a level of regulation, and FSD may be allowed in some states to start with, or specific driving like on the highway. If the market actually started to believe Tesla was going to achieve FSD, then FSD could finally move the stock. To be honest, it feels like FSD is barely baked into the stock price as it is. I think 2023 is the year that Tesla should be starting to grow into its valuation. Of course, it's pretty much valued as a car company, even then still. Well, a technology car company, but still a car company, not robotics AI. I think Tesla will have to earn any higher valuation, by which I mean literally, they will need to generate higher earnings. And Tesla will. The earnings will be much higher than expected, which will make the stock jump higher. But I feel like the market is probably only offering a PE ratio of around 50, and that the stock price is probably relative to the latest quarter's earnings, about 50 times that annualized. In other words, if Tesla did $20 billion profit in Q4 2023, and that's $80 billion annualized, which would come in at a $4 trillion valuation with a PE of 50. I mean, we're talking nearly 2 years away, but a potential 4 times return on stock price in that period of time is what we're here for. And remember, the longer the time the stock price stays flat, the bigger it breaks out. 2021 was a flat year. 2022 might be a bit flat too, whilst the foundation is laid. And although the stock price looks flat, there is still going to be a ton of stuff going on under the hood of this company. I say flat, but I mean, even if Tesla was able to trade between 1200 and 1400 for most part of 2022, compared to last year of around 600 to 800, then that's still a 100% increase. That stock price range is not too difficult to imagine, at least when the new factories are up and running. In other words, there's a good chance we will more or less be at twice the stock price this year than we were last year. That's quite the jump. Of course, this year there'll be dips and peaks throughout. I say this, but I could be wrong, and I haven't done my proper forecasts yet, and I do hope that when Q4 results come out for 2022, we actually see the stock price closer to $2,000, as I think Tesla would have started to increase profit margins again, and possibly even beat the previous. Which could mean the stock price might double again from there by the end of 2023, if that's what we were suggesting earlier at the stock hitting $4,000 in 2023. I think everyone is going to be surprised what they find when these exponentials really start adding up around this time. Thanks for listening. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter and talk to me on Patreon.